வீடியோவா ஆடியோவா? ஆடியோ கேக்குது, சவுண்ட் கேக்குது.
நீங்கள் அங்க கொலம்பலையா ஜாப்னால? Where are you?
I think Meena is in Jaffna University.
Yeah, in Jaffna, yes.
Okay.
I think we could try and start and see how it goes.
We can do that, or we can actually do it sometime next week. I mean, if that's okay, I'm ready for anything, because I'm not sure whether people can hear or
Now it's okay. We can hear.
Yeah.
You can hear, huh? Okay. Then
Yeah,
why not we start?
Yes, now we can hear.
Yeah, excuse me. Some of us have difficulties in with the audio. I think Dr. Mahesan and Professor Avirajan are finding it difficult to. They can see you, but they are not hearing your voices.
Oh, okay.
Why don't they log off and log in once again and use the internet audio selection?
Yeah, they'll be doing that now. Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much. I know these are unexpected technical issues which are beyond our, our capacity. Anyway, nice to at least hear your voices. My name is Varagudan. I'm a doctor. I'm a family physician working in the suburb of Toronto. I do family practice, palliative care, and I'm also an assistant professor at the McMaster University as a family medicine. So I'm a good friend of Yoga Varadan, who has organized this. Yoga Varadan is a classmate of mine. He lives in Norway. He's the founder director of the Rose Villa Heritage Homes at Uduville. And also, thank you, Niranjan. I think most of you know Niranjan well. He's president of the Managers Forum of Jaffna. Niranjan, can you hear me? Niranjan? Okay, so Niranjan is the president of the Jaffna Managers Forum. So let's start something, but we can always connect later, probably next week or anything. So COVID-19, I'm supposed to give an update on COVID-19 in this part of the world. So when I say this part of the world, it's Canada and the USA. These are two different countries. Canada is doing very well, much better. I think there is around 4,000 deaths so far. There are lots of positive cases. The update, I mean, every information is available in the internet, so I'm not going to go through all the statistics here. But the good thing is we are noticing, even though there are lots of positive cases, there are very less deaths now. So that's a good sign, because this virus is very new to the human race. And very new to the human race. I think slowly the human race is starting to develop immunity. So that's good news. So in Canada also, we are slowly started to open up businesses, and that's a very, very careful. The good thing about Canada is the politicians and the bureaucracy. They listen to the medical fraternity, the science fraternity. So that's a good thing. We are going very slow. It's a good, it's going to be a good end. There you go. We have Dr. Edirveer Singh, and we can see your face now.
Okay. I'll turn it off now.
Perfect. So this is Canadian update. I think we will, have a very positive outcome of the COVID. Unfortunately, in the US, its story is so different. I think it's about 85,000 people have perished so far. If you see something unique in these deaths, in Canada, These are 75% of the deaths are from the retirement homes and the old age homes. These are older individuals who had multiple comorbidities, and so very few children have died. I mean, I think it's about 1 or 2 children have died with other comorbidities. So unfortunately, our senior citizens have died. Whoever dies, it's a tragic thing. We need to look after our seniors still further well. In that way, I want to end, and we can ask questions and answers later on. I want to really focus on the education reforms. I have been asked to do the tough job here, moderating all these prominent and eminent, educationists and the prominent bureaucrats who are here. Thank you very much. I'm just a moderator. I'm not an educationist. I'm not in the field of academics except for my own medical academics. So thank you very much again. We are so glad and proud to have all these very prominent and very popular educationists and people in the government sector and thinkers, philosophers. Everybody is here. Thank you very much. I just want to take my time. Is Dr. Manju Veerasinghe here, please? I don't see her name, Dr. Manju Veerasinghe. She was supposed to. She's a doctor working in the Department of Community Medicine, Faculty of Medicine at University of Colombo. So she's not here. So we move on the program. We have panel participants here. Dr. Sangarapillai Arivanakhan. Is Dr. Arivanakhan here, please? I don't see his name here. I can see Dr. Bradley, Mr. Bradley here. He's a Zonal Director of Education. Welcome, Mr. Bradley, and thank you very much on behalf of the forum. And Dr. Mani Marvan. Am I pronouncing your name correct, Mr. Mani Marvan?
Yes, Mani Marvan, yes.
Oh, that's a very Tamil literature name. I think your father must be a very, very honored Tamil. Yeah. Okay, so why not we start according to the schedule? We will start with Mr. Bradley's presentation, if that's okay, Mr. Bradley. He's a Zonal Director of Education, Schools Education Performances. He's going to present us about school education performances, reforms in education, children and teacher training. So stage is yours, Mr. Bradley. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute every other microphone and let Mr. Bradley's microphone alone on it, if that's okay.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Thank you, the participants. I want to thank Mr. Niranjan also for inviting me to this forum. Actually, I think this forum is going to be very useful to the Northern Province to consider or to restructure our education system, incorporating the ideas and views which we are going to discuss here. It is true that education sectors all over the world have been affected by COVID-19 pandemic. But if we take the Northern Province, in our case, our problems or our issues are twofold, because already our education system has some defect or some weaknesses. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes,
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear. Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay. As I mentioned already, our education system has some defect or some sort for also compete with other provinces. In addition to this drawback, now this COVID-19 pandemic has put additional strain on this education system. Before I start the I want to start with the means the important aspect is learning. Each and every one of us may have different ideas or different viewpoints about learning. Definitions of learning says that learning is a process that brings together personal and environmental experiences and influences for acquiring, enriching, or modifying one's knowledge, skills, values, attitudes, behaviors, and worldviews. According to this definition, learning is not about transferring information from teacher to student. Uh, Likewise, there are so many theories which explains the learning process. In the light of this, those theories, I feel uh, the learning process employed in our schools need to be revisited or reorganized or enhanced. Cognitive theory in our classrooms are designed according to this theory. For example, examination results are released or grade 5 results are released, we come 8th or 9th. Then our authorities want to do something, some intervention programs. Then they advise our assistant directors, in-service advisors, ADs, ISAs, teachers to prepare work cards and conduct rapid learning classes. These rapid learning classes don't give enough time for competency development. What they do is they rapidly transfer knowledge.
Mr. Bradley, your audio is
What
a little distorted. I don't know.
Rapid transferring of knowledge.
I think for me it's fine. It has been fine, so I'm not sure about others.
It's fine for me too. Very clear.
What about others, doctor? Is it okay? Can I
I'm okay
continue?
too.
For me also, it's okay. I can hear.
You need to unmute
Case
to
continue.
and the
communicate.
situation.
Yeah, please.
Here, the experience is the core of the learning process. Actually, learning is most likely to occur and to last when it is self-initiated. Learning can only be facilitated. We cannot teach another person directly. So I mean, it is important to reconsider the delivery and it is competency development strategies. That is the first thing I want to highlight here. We have to shift from this rapid result learning strategies to usual or the sustainable strategy, competency development strategies. Because most often we focus our attention and our resources to improve O-level results, and we do a lot of things at the grade level. But our results show that it is not much useful. Then the next important issue relating to our setback in performance is shortages of resources, especially teacher shortage or deployment issues. Actually, almost 92% of teacher cadres is filled. However, our province practice or employs a special transfer policy. It can be said as a crude transfer policy because still it needs to be improved or it should be get legal approvals. But it is in accordance with the national policy. But this practice put the provincial authorities into difficulties in deploying and distributing teachers in manner. You know, among these districts, Jaffna and Vaunia are the productive pockets for teachers. The other districts, therefore, suffer with shortages of teachers. Then these two districts, Jaffna and Vaunia, they also suffer with issues of overstaff or stagnation of aged teacher population. Actually, many factors and many actors influence this teacher deployment process. I feel all of them should take the responsibility for the setback in education. Dr. Edirveera Singham is also here. I can remember Honorable Gurukula Raja, the former education minister, experience. He has proposed a lot of strategies for teacher transfer and deployment also, but unfortunately they were not fully implemented. Then moreover, there are considerable numbers of teachers with ailments, particularly with mental health disorders. And there's the issue of recruitment. Recruitment is quite unbalanced and it contributes to overstaff of untrained volunteer teachers and aesthetic groups. This recruitment of volunteer teachers has serious impact in primary education. And then even though the teachers are filled in numbers, the vacancies in STEM subjects limit the opportunities in the secondary education. So these issues are already there in our education system. In this context, now the COVID-19 pandemic has added more burden on our education system. The key challenge in front of us is loss of learning hours or loss of learning opportunity. Learning in its broader sense include all the activities that take place in a school environment, school system. It may be a science practical, aesthetic practicals, dance, drama, sports, games, student unions, debates, science day, English day, exam, etc. A lot of functions and activities take place in a school environment. I don't know how far the digital technologies can replace this actual learning in terms of school education. This is a serious issue we have to think of. But however, at present, we are continuing our education as far as possible through social medias and other communication devices, facilities. But if you take the survival rate or dropout rate at this position, we should admit that present survival rate or dropout rate is very low. I mean, the students who are not connected to the teachers or connected to the education system through these facilities should be considered as dropped out. Then our survival rate is lower than the normal situation. It may be due to digital divide or poverty, or so many reasons may be there. In this context, we have to talk about our policies such as education for all, equity, equality, quality development, and etc. And meanwhile, our curriculum is designed for face-to-face teaching. And you know, our examination system is designed to measure the competencies or the levels of competencies achieved by the students. And these competency frameworks are also designed to be achieved in a school environment with the support of teachers in a face-to-face manner. So now these are also challenged. So this online teaching cannot replace or cannot be a replacement for the learning in the school system. In addition to that, if you think of resource limitations, I think Manimaran will also talk about that in his presentation. The schools have to put up hand washing stations, and they have to provide sanitizing facilities once the school is reopened. And the issue of social distancing and our classroom size, a fixed classroom size, and how we are going to adjust the timetables and schedules. These are also challenges in front of us. We have to think of new strategies to cope up with issues. Then, as I have already mentioned, that our teachers are also used to teach in a face-to-face manner.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Bradley.
I think we will have to train them. Yes.
You have another
Yes,
2 minutes to go. Sorry.
Yes. Thank you, Doctor. I will finish it.
Yeah.
So this teacher, if you take the teacher training, the teachers are used to teach in the face-to-face manner. So we will have to give some additional training for them to handle this IT, the modern equipments, or to online teaching. But this pre-service training, such as NCOE and TTC, teachers training colleges, are come under the national ministry. Likewise, the in-service trainings conducted by the teacher centers are also managed by the teacher education branches of national ministries. At provincial level, we can conduct some orientation trainings and cascaded trainings of new curriculum changes. We don't have provision to conduct our own teacher development programs. There is shortages of financial allocations, lack of institution or human resource facilities are also there. So these are the general issues we are facing. I think with this, we can move on to the issues faced at the school level, which is going to be presented by Mr. Manimarvan. So thank you. I will pass to Mr. Manimarvan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bradley. You have brought up lots of issues and lots of frustrations, and you have opened up a big can of worms here. You are, because you're in that field, you are there, and it's a great insight into what's happening in northern province. Now, any one of the panelists would like to share a very brief 30-second insight on Mr. Bradley's talk? can I invite Dr. Edirveera Singham to give his comments quickly?
I think Mr. Bradley has outlined the heart of the matter or heart of the problem. I think I know Mr. Manimarpan will continue and give us more. Maybe after both of them, we can discuss a little bit.
Sure, perfect. So thank you so much again, Mr. Bradley, for that wonderful insight.
Welcome, Doctor.
Now, let me invite our Deputy Director of Education for Provincial Department of Education, Mr. K. Manimarvan. He's going to speak on school education performances and reforms in education. Mr. Manimarvan, stage is yours for the next 10 minutes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening to everybody. First, I would like to share my thanks to Mr. Ranjan and his organization to organize this program and invite to us to share our experiences to uplift our Northern Province education system. In addition, I would like to say my thanks to our Educational Secretary to allow to ask this the very suitable time to discuss the impact of the COVID and other factors on education, because the last month GCC O-level results were released. There are a lot of positive and negative impacts and argue say about these things. However, compared to other provinces, Northern Province was last. But GCC O-level pass percentage is one of the education indicator. This education indicator highlights to us Northern Province education have some challenges and issues. Mr. Bradley already talked with some brief of these challenges. This is our first key point. At the same time, the impact of the COVID-19 on education is the second key point for today's discussion. So now we face double challenges. If we say in Tamil language, மரத்தால் விழுந்தவனை மாய்க்கிறோம், அதை விட அடுத்த பிரச்சனையாக இந்த கோவிட் வந்தங்களுக்கு முன்னாலே இருக்கு. So we want to reschedule our activities and rethink and reinforce our system. In 2014, Dr. Edirveera Singham and their teams to support to us to develop for the NESR reforms, Northern Education System Review. I also participate with joined with Dr. Edirveera Singham and learn more. But unfortunately, that is not fulfilled to implement our system. So I think we want to refine that report, and we want to implement for that. In addition, student achievement. Therefore, top priority should be given to school to student learning. If we consider the factors affecting to achieve to the goals of the school or education, we can divide under 6 areas. Under the COVID, we think for the issues and challenges. For under the 6 areas, I can explain that. The first one is student-related activities. The second one, parents or home-related. Talk about this impact of the COVID-19 in education. The first one is student-related activities. First one, the dropout. Mr. Bradley little bit talk about that, but I want to some expand for that. We think about the dropout. Now the Northern Province one of the major challenge for the
I think there's a problem with Manimarvan's audio. Okay.
For the last year, is the survival rate education for the second calculate for the survival rate. Unfortunately, in the 2009 data. Hello.
Yes, we can hear.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, if you want to think about the dropouts at the same time, survival rate and total students after the COVID, we think about that. Already we have this issue. So after the COVID, we may think that is increase. So we want to identify some solution for that. And also the digital divide is another one of the major challenge. Last week we conducted for the online exam for the grade 5. Around 52% of the students only attend that exam. So that is one of the clear indicator to us. The around 48% of the students, say half of the students not have the digital devices or not interesting to use digital devices. In this case, Mr. Dr. Edurvira Singham in 2014 suggested his NCNESR report. He suggested e-learning in that time, but that time we are not interested for that because limitation of the resources. But later we can discuss about that. But now also we face problem. Now the teachers are interesting to do that. But unfortunately 50% of the students don't have for the devices. At the same time, some of the educationists and others also criticize to use for the e-learning materials. The education for all is the first policy of our country. So they argue that 50% of the students only reach these activities, other 50% are missing. So what is the policy? So they asked to me, us. So this is another second issue after the COVID. And also the poverty level. Poverty level also another one of the issue. As an example, later Mr. Senthilkumaran share with his experience. The biggest school also face some problems to poverty areas, schools and the teachers and parents are not interested to use for that. So poverty also another big issue. And in future we think about conduct for the co-curricular activities. Now we discuss for the student level factors. So another factor is the co-curricular activities. How can develop co-curricular activities, especially Dr. Edurvira Singham in earlier interesting to us for the co-curricular activities. The final one for the finishing for the curriculum. You know already our National Institute of Education the curricula. The education days per year, they will plan the curricula for the 195 days. So now missing some academic days. So in future, how to solve that problem? So the parents, students thinking about how to finish their curriculum. And also the transport and sharing and communication mission, vision and goals for the stakeholders. These are the big issues in the student related factor. Then I go to move to the next factor, parents or home related factors. The parents and home related factors also we divide some areas. First for the safety. The parents are not satisfied thing about their students' safety. So now after we start the school, how many percentage of the parents allowed to their students to come to the school? So this is the first issue. And the second issue we face for the traveling mode and time. How to start the school time and how to use for the travelings and another factors. And the availability of the IT devices in home. And also another big interesting issue in the tuition classes. Maybe some of the educationists and I also not agree for the tuition classes. But in the parents level, they will think about the tuition classes, how to conduct it in future. So these are the issue in the parents or home related. Then finally, next one, the school related factors. I come to the school related factors. Now we rearrange for the schools and putting the taps and giving the and arrange for the furnitures and isolated places and the classroom also. Say example in the 20 feet into 20 feet is the one classroom size. But we accommodated around 40 students that class. So in future, how we can accommodate it in the students that classes. And the financial regulation and limitation is the big issue in the school level. Now we all are doctors and others, all are advised to the principals, do this thing like that. They will advise to the school principals. But our financial regulation is very strict. The principal cannot collect even 1 rupee to the parents or old boys. So how can they make these arrangements in the school level? So this is one of the big issue for the small schools. Say example in the northern province, 256 schools are less than 50 students. Other 242 schools are less than 100 students school. So these type of schools face very lot of problems. And another school level, some of the another issues also, quality assurance of the education. Normally the school principals and their team for the internal evaluation and the zonal level staff do for the external evaluation, and they will ensure the assurance of the quality of the education. But in future, how we can conduct that? And also co-curricular activities. And now we all are talking about the 21st century skills for development. So most of the 21st century skills we can do for the teamwork. So in future, how we conducted for the team activities. So these are the school level related factors. And curricular level related also we have some problems. The first one, protecting instructional time. How we can manage for the instructional time. Normally, or in the normal situation also, Mr. Bradley already talked about that little bit. I can explain some more. The protecting instructional time, this is the big issue in the northern province. Normally, NIE only plan for their activities and they will calculate for the instructional time in the schools. But after that, other ministries, other NGOs, and other donors, and other ministries, and other personal persons also plan some activities, and they directly go to the schools or zones and get the permission and do their activities. Say example, in the meetings and functions, so band program, like that, lot of programs. So these are the activities affect for the instructional time. Normally last 3 years we conduct some survey, around 60 to 70% of the total curriculum normally completed average of the schools. But after the conflict, this COVID-19, this is one of the big major issue. And teacher-related factors, we think about the teacher-related factors. Teachers also face a lot of problems. The first one, most of the teachers, actually our curricula say for the teacher, our education delivery system is child-centered. But most of the teachers now also using for the teacher-centered education system. So in future we should want to change for that teacher-centered to student-centered. I think this is one of the positive after the COVID-19 impact. I know very well in 2014 Dr. Edvira Singham's NESR report, this is very clear. Should we change teacher-centered education to student-centered education? But unfortunately, that is not implemented. And also the lab experiments and field visits and other theoretical, not only theoretical based, practical based education also in future, we have some challenges. And also student progress monitoring also, we face some problems. How to monitor? Normally we conducted for the examination, all the students in the line and give the papers and take. So in future, how we can conduct examinations. So this also in the teacher related factors. And pedagogically also we have the approach of teaching and learning. Also we have some positive impact on the after the COVID-19. Earlier we conducted some e-learning training programs, how to use the computer, how to use the smart board, how to use for multimedia, like that. But that time most of the teachers are not interested to participate at that workshop and also not interested to handle that devices. But after the COVID-19, now also most of the teachers are interested to participate these kind of workshops and use the IT equipments. So I think this is the one of the good opportunity to share the teachers' experience to the talk and talk to modern technology.
Mr. Manimaran, sorry to interrupt. Remind you just 2 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And also we think about the teaching learning materials. Mr. Bradley sir already talked with that. Normally in the northern province have one system printing the work cards and other materials and distribute for the students. That only for the short-term remedial work. But most of the school practice for that. But after the COVID, we think e-learning, which are the e-learning materials, and we can promote for that. So that is that we can reduce our expenditures also. I think later Mr. Senthilmaran can explain more about how to manage e-learning materials in this course. And these are the main issues in our system. So earlier Mr. Bradley also explained for that. Now we have double challenge. The first one, normally our system has some weakness and issues. The second one, after the after the COVID-19, we face additional some challenges and issues. So I think this panel have give some sharing your advices to us. We can develop to our nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manimaran. You have brought out some, new challenges and what is happening in the situation. Thank you so much again. We will go to the discussion once we have the other presentation. The next speaker.
Now the problem seems to solve. If you permit me, I can give my presentation.
Sure, please go ahead, Mr. Ariv.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Varaman. So that today I'm planning to talk about some education reforms issues related with secondary education. So that the reforms issues are not specifically related with COVID-19 or related issues. Let me share my presentation slide. Okay, that I couldn't share it. Anyway, I sent that that my slides to you as an email. Anyway, that if you want, you can share that. Okay, so I'm going to discuss about 3 issues in the secondary education. The first one is there is an unnecessary delay in for a kid in the second for a kid to complete his or her secondary education. You know, in Sri Lanka, a kid completes his or her secondary education at the age of 19, but in the rest of the world, in other countries, they usually complete it at the age of 18, and they can enter into the university by the age of 18. So the secondary education, which is supposed to be 13 years, but in our country, the kids are spending around 13 years and 8 months to complete the 13 years secondary education program. So actually they are wasting 8 months. So nowadays we are worrying about that kids are wasting 3 months due to this COVID-19 lockdown. However, due to the system, our kids are wasting around 8 months. So we had to look into that issue as well. That is the first issue I'm going to talk. And the second one, the subject stream selection. The subject stream selection in Sri Lanka has to be done after the O-level at the age of 16. But that, suppose if it can be postponed to the university level, that would have been better, because here in Sri Lanka, normally the best, best students, they used to select biology or science stream or physical science stream. Most of them select biology or science stream. And suppose later if they found they are not that much interested in that particular stream, it might be difficult to change as per our system. So another thing is, suppose, normally the best students, they enroll for biological science stream. Suppose they want to enter into the medical faculty. Suppose if they couldn't have an opportunity, everyone can't enter to the medical faculty. If they couldn't enter to the medical faculty, then they are given an opportunity to enter the engineering faculty or management faculty, that would have been better. So that there are some ways that I'm going to talk about, some feasible ways to adapt these things. And the third one, the third issue is, in Sri Lanka, what I have noticed is the subject mathematics is not being taught in the A level, that is except the physical science stream. So that I had an opportunity to teach statistics at the Monash University for Australia, and even I taught statistics there. That I taught statistics for the business students, and I taught statistics for the art students in Singapore. In these two countries, what I have noticed is their mathematics knowledge is better than the mathematics knowledge of arts and business students of Sri Lanka. So that of course, that mathematics, everyone knows that mathematics is an important subject, so let me first consider the first issue. So that our students are unnecessarily wasting 8 months, and they are completing the secondary education at the age of 18, at the age of 19. So how can we solve this? So I thought that there are three common examinations in a student's life. That is, the first one is the grade 5 scholarship examination. That examination might be useful to enter into secondary education or select a school in the secondary education, and some poor students might get bursary. The next one is the GC O-level examination, and the last one is the GC A-level examination. GC A-level examination is necessary. Using that only the students enter into the university. Then what is the need for the GC O-level examination? GC O-level examination might be needful to qualify for the GC A-level, and in some schools, if the GC A-level is not available, they can get admission to another school. But for that examination, nowadays we are conducting 9 subjects. There are 9 examinations for GC O-level. Some examinations are very lengthy, that 5 hours and 4 hours duration. So in GC O-level mathematics examination is 5 hours duration. A kid at the age of 16 has to sit for an examination of 5 hours duration, and now we are worried about the failure rate in that particular examination. So then, because there are 9 examinations and they are very lengthy, the marking also takes time. So usually the Department of Examination took around 6 months to complete the marking and the results. So that they sit for the O-level examination in December. The results will be released by May or June, and they can start the A-level at August, and they took the A-level after 2 years' time in August. So they are actually wasting around 6 to 8 months. That's it. That there's a break in the continuity of the education. That is at the age of 16, and at that time they might learn some unwanted habits, and that might destroy their life, and that should be addressed. Okay. So what I propose is, in the O-level, we don't need to have 9 examinations. We can teach 9 subjects, and these subjects could be evaluated using term examination. But as a common examination, instead of having these 9 subjects, we could have 5 subjects. Say, for example, Tamil or Sinhala, the first language, and English as a second language, science, mathematics, and history. And the other basket subjects and the religion that can be taught in the school, that can be evaluated in the term examination. But I think we don't need to have a common examination for the rest of the subjects. Only 5 examinations is enough. And these examinations should not be more than 3 hours. If it is within 3 hours, of course, that we can, if you reduce the number of examination and the length, then the marking could be finished. The marking should be finished within 3 months. And what I propose is, instead of having this A-level examination in August, we can have the O-level examination during August holidays. So for the O-level examination, the syllabus from grade 10, first term, second term, third term, and grade 11, first term and second term, the examination would be based on that first term and second term of the grade 11 syllabus. Then we can have the examination during August holidays, and then they can finish marking by December. By December, they have to release the O-level results, and the kid should be able to go to the A-level in the next January without wasting any time. There should be a continuity in the education. And if the kid can go to the school in January, then he can spend 2 years, and in December, December means, what I'm saying is, suppose a kid is taking the O-level examination in 2020 August, and the kid should be able to start his A-level in 2021 January. And 2022 December, in 2 years' time, the kid should be able to sit for the A-level examination. What I suggest is we had to swap the O-level and the A-level examination. Now we are having the O-level examination during December holidays and having A-level examination during August holidays. Instead, if it is possible that we can have the O-level examination during August holidays and release the results in December, then after 2 years' time, we can have the A-level examination during December holidays. So the O-level examination is not, so nowadays the O-level examination, 9 subjects and so many basket subjects and all that, it took 3 weeks for the Department of Examination to have that examination. But if, as a propose, if there are 5 exams, that can be finished in 1 week time. After the grade 5 scholarship examination during August holidays, they can have the O-level examination and they can release the results by December. And January, the student can start the A-level and he can finish the A-level in 2 years' time in December. In this way, our kids can save 8 months. And then they can complete their secondary education at the age of 18. That is one thing what I'm suggesting is. The second thing is, as I said earlier, you know, the bright students, that maybe the bright students, they enroll to the biological science stream and they want to enter the medical faculty. If they deny the opportunity to enter the medical faculty, that suppose if they have an option to enter into engineering faculty or management faculty, that would have been better. So how can we consider this? Then what I propose is, that's in my slides, what I propose is, in A-level, now the students are studying 3 subjects. Instead of 3 subjects, we can increase it to 5 subjects. Of course, the syllabus has to be revised and of course reduced. Instead of 3 subjects, the students in the A-level should be able to study 5 subjects. We can have 5 baskets, in my opinion. That the first basket is the science basket. There, the subjects like chemistry, physics, biology, agriculture, these subjects might fit into the first basket, science basket. The second basket is the mathematics basket. In that mathematics basket, the subjects like high mathematics, combined mathematics, and now we have another mathematics that's called mathematics. Someone used to say it's simple mathematics, which is comparing with the high mathematics and combined mathematics. This mathematics is slightly easier. This mathematics is a combination of pure maths and statistics. So even that's not tough, like that's not too much of mechanical work. Even the arts and business students also can study that particular course, but nowadays no one is offering because that's not that popular. That mathematics, and there's another course called business statistics that also can put into that basket. If you want, that we can put ICT also into that basket. That's the second basket. The third basket might be the arts. That social science, arts and humanities subjects, like, you know, all the subjects can be put in that basket. The next basket is going to be the commerce basket. There, the you know, business studies and account subjects should be fit into that basket. And the last basket for the technological studies, there engineering technology, biosystem technology subjects can be put. The student has to study 5 subjects. He doesn't need to select one subject from one basket. If a student wants, he can select all the subjects from one basket. That doesn't matter. However, we can put one condition as all the students have to take at least one subject from mathematics basket. So I'm not saying that they had to study that higher mathematics or combined mathematics. They are easy. That, as I said, that the mathematics is a subject is there, and business statistics also slightly easy. They can offer one subject from the mathematics basket. So then we can make sure all the students are studying mathematics up to, you know, the secondary education. And so suppose if a student, if he study the subjects like biology, physics, chemistry, combined mathematics and accounts, that particular student can apply for medical faculty, engineering faculty, or management faculty, if management faculty permits. The standing committee in the UGC, they permit that one. So then there are so many choices for the students. So these are the things, these are some feasible solutions that which I have noticed the existing drawbacks in our secondary education that can be easily addressed. Now the government, the current president is very much interested in educational reforms, and that they are planning to abolish the first term examination as well. That's also a good sign. And recently he appointed a task force for educational reforms, and which motivate me to share my ideas in this forum is because our secretary to the Northern Province Education Ministry, Mr. Ilangovan, is a member of the task force. So then I thought that I can share my ideas in this forum. So these are simple feasible solutions. That's what I wanted to discuss here. Thanks for giving the opportunity. Thanks.
That was Dr. Sangarapillai Arivalakan. He's a Department of Mathematics and Statistics, University of Jaffna. He has brought up lots of practical solution. I remember when I did my A level in 1982, we were able to select zoology and pure maths instead of botany. But unfortunately, even that stream we have to do go into medicine, so we cannot apply for engineering. But with the 80, after 83, when we went to India as refugees, I was able to do the +2 system there. There, even now in Tamil Nadu state board curriculum, they have baskets. You can choose here, and you can enter either engineering or medicine. Or so, for some reason, I did engineering before I did medicine. I did law for a month, and I also did BSc. So I was able to choose. The Tamil Nadu government or Indian system is that great suggestions. It's a great start here for the forum. All these distinguished scholars are here. Next is very, I'm really scared because the title, he's the principal. I'm always scared of principals. I got maybe post-traumatic Adivangi principal narrative, principal customer. So he is a principal of a very prestigious college in Jaffna. He's a principal of Jaffna Hindu College, Mr. Ratnam Sendil Maran. He's going to present on how schools will function after COVID and what measures are being taken, and career guidance for future employment opportunities and suitable. It's a long title, but I'm sure the principals are very punctual in time, so I'm sure he will use his 10 minutes very effectively. Here we go, Mr. Sendil Maran.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, I thanks to organizing team this webinar. School were closed on 13th of March island-wide by COVID-19 effect. First of all, we decided to give dry foods to our school students. We collected affected students' data through every class teachers. Our teachers, all boys and well-wishers had contributed financial support to deliver dry foods. We have provided dry foods 2 times for 200 students from our school. Then we concerned in students' educations. We have done 3 different types of learning activities. First, we prepared assignment. In these assignments preparation, they prepared the assignment within 2 weeks of time. We prepared 140 assignments subject-wise to the all students in all subjects. We have uploaded in our website and sent through social media, and also provided hard copy to who are not having the internet facilities. We have instructed to the student to submit the completed assignment after school reopen. This is now also we are preparing second assignments to students. It's cover second term curriculum. We are going to release that assignments within our next week. Island-wide, most of the Tamil schools are using our assignment. Who are Provincial Education Department officially requested to us to use our assignment to their students. When we publish the assignment in our school website, over 30,000 viewers have visited our webpage. Our school students only, we have 2,600 students, but 30,000 viewers have visited to our website when we publish the assignment. We also prepared e-learning materials. I had been working with Dr. Edurveera Singham for 6 months as a e-learning coordinator, so I have experience. We also prepared e-learning materials. We have released over 20 e-lessons video to the students through YouTube, and we have recorded over 100 lessons, but editing work is going on. Most Tamil students also get benefit through this. One of the Mullaitivu school principal talked with me. He said that their students expect more videos, and we have arranged online classes to advanced level and ordinary level students. We have conducted over 100 classes as at today. That we are using Jitsi Meet and Zoom app for this. Our school is selected by Ministry of Education, Isrubaya, for pilot project. So there are no charges for online classes to our students who are using this image. The ICTA, that Information and Communication Technology Agencies, provided one account for our school. So we go through that link. Our students enjoy the free internet charges. And further, teachers are becoming smart by the e-learning preparation and online classes. This is also one benefit to our school. Also, they are upgrading their art of teaching as well. We conducted, we started online classes before COVID-19. One of the resource person conducted online classes for Waterloo Olympiad competition, Canada. He is conducted online classes from Canada to our students. So we started or before COVID-19, so we have the experience in the online classes. This is the nowadays we are conducting these types of activities in our school. And also we face difficulties because we don't conduct online classes grades 6 to 10 because of the 10% students they couldn't access internet facilities. And in future we are going to provide some tablets to students for the lending purpose. It will that's who are affected by the poverty level. So we are going to provide tablets for students. These activities are happening in my schools. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sendil Maran.
Yeah.
Have you finished your presentation?
Yeah, I finished. Yeah.
Excellent. I mean, Jaffna Hindu College is like a pioneer for many projects like this. So congratulations on that. I'm sure it's going to go well. You have a great old students all over the world, and you know, I've been in touch with many of them, even in Canada. They do a lot to the school. And thank you again, Mr. Sendil Maran. Now I'm actually going to, you know, get the help of our great panelists here. I'm not sure Professor Whatever is here. I'm going to unmute everyone. So I'm going to mute everyone again. Okay, I have muted everyone again. I don't think Professor Whatever is here. Professor Ravi Rajan, are you here? Professor Ravi Rajan?
Yes, I am here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So Professor Ravi Rajan is from the Department of Physics, University of Jaffna. And
That's right.
Mr. Langovan, is Mr. Langovan here, please? I see Ilango, but I don't think he's connected by audio. Of course, obviously, Dr. Edir Veerasingham is here. He doesn't need any introduction to us and this education community. So why not we start, you know, nice discussion here. This is a great start because we are from different walks of life, different countries. But I think if we work together, I mean, this is just a starting point, just a spark. And I think we can do wonders in the field of education of our motherland there. Let me actually go to Dr. Edir Veerasingham for his thoughts, please.
Am I on now?
Yes, okay. you can be heard.
Thank you. If you don't hear me, sometimes I speak very softly. I can increase my volume. I think Mr. Bradley has outlined some of the issues that are prevalent in the various zones. So it is very well presented. And Mr. Manimarvan gave some in-depth into some of the issues, key issues, so I won't repeat that. And Mr. Harivalagan, you have given some food for thought also. I think I was trying to categorize that into a group so that we can focus it. I could put them in macro issues and then micro issues. Mr. Bradley gave some micro issues. Mr. Manivarman meant more in issues connected with the e-learning and as well as the current situation. And Mr. Arivalagan gave a macro aspect of it, I think. When I say macro, this is becoming a national decision making. Micro, within the province, we could do it. His suggestion, Arivalagan's suggestion about 8 subjects students are taking, or 10, 8 to 10. But when they come to A levels, it's 3 subjects. This is we are depriving the students to learn the range up to O level. They have a very good range. From each of the discipline, they can get many ideas from the discipline that they can incorporate. Whereas when it comes to A level, they are suddenly, that is, they are still 17 and 18. So that problem carries on to the university where they do the same 3 subjects again, but more in depth. So that's a issues that has to be addressed. It is better to give students more range, like he suggested 5 subjects. I would even go more than 5 subjects. This means the university will scream at the schools. So that's why it's a macro, because it's dependent on the university requirements also. For example, during our time, every school had a laboratory that is as good as the university laboratory, whether it's botany, zoology, chemistry, or physics. In fact, when I came to University of California to do my undergraduate work, their laboratory is not any better than the laboratory at Jaffna Central College or for Hindu or St. John's. But now there's no laboratories. A little bit here and there in a corner in a room, you'll find that, I won't call, just to have some practical demonstration, but they themselves don't do much. So the universities have to do and make up. So the question is, university give a 3 years degree. Should they give 3-year degree or they should do 4-year degree? This means the 13th year of the subjects, they can do it in the first year in the university with a laboratory or practical experience. So we are shortchanging the students now, that is after the 70s, when the population exploded and the money was not there, they closed down all the labs. So that is the macro aspect of it, because our universities don't have enough room to admit all the students who qualify for university. As you know, it's 35% only they admit. So there is an issue, but that has to do with the economy. So that is, we need to do that. Dr. Arivalagan also mentioned about the duration, the ending of exam, start of the results, and then start of the university. This has been dealt with in the NESR report. there are two big diagrams as to how it can be improved. The problem is after the OL and AL exam, it takes, what, 3 months for the results to be out? That is ridiculous. There's something wrong in the examination department and the whole system. So that's a macro aspect. People here cannot do it. So it has to be a national level. Changes can be made. The NESR report, Mr. Manimarvan and Mr. Bradley, who were key members of the committees, know that we recommend that after O-level, students who failed should still continue. And that was accepted by the National Education Commission, and they promoted to the university. And now you find that students go on to a vocational technical program. So education is compulsory, though not in all schools. It can only be done in 1AB schools. So they do listen to national issues that can be solved. So, which is the students can do NVQ and get back in the degree program also. So there's no dead ends if they follow that continuously in all the 1AB schools. I don't think they have put it in all the schools yet, but they have a very good curricula. I examined it, and I have sat in on the classes also, and they are very good. There's also, when I say micro and macro, we should also depend on what can we do it immediately now to improve the O-level situation. And what we should also think about, is national examination really necessary? And if so, if necessary, this is the type of national examination we have to do. And that is, again, a province cannot make any decision on it, although we can modify it. I know Mr. Manimarvan and Bradley, when he was there, they were conducting their own examination before the O-level. And they were very good examination. And we need to follow that up and to see how we can do item analysis and improve that and get some more data. But I like to sort of focus on what you can do immediately. This is for Mr. Manimarvan and Bradley and all the others in the system who want to improve. I've been able to get some data from one, I call it School X, that is a school in the Valley that is away from the A9 or other big roads, but it's a type 2 schools. And then I was also able to get some data from a, what do they call, scholarship school, not from Jaffna Hindu College, but another school that I don't like to mention. When I did some analysis on this, because there was a lot of issues that were raised for a long time, that the performance in Tamil is also determines performance in math, science, and other subjects, because the examinations in Tamil medium, and as most of you know, that examinations are written in Sinhalese and then translated. In the translation, there are construction issues and clarity issues. So students find it difficult. Also, it has been mentioned by others, specialists on Tamil, that the Tamil examination is much harder than the Sinhalese equivalent examination. Because those who set the papers are Tamil scholars. And that may cause a problem. So I did an analysis to see there's a relationship. So, so I found that, say, School X, that is a type 2 school in the Vanney, there's a relationship between Tamil grades and maths or science grades. And they have a relationship of correlation coefficient of R equal 0.73, 0.75, 0.79. So there is a problem. Students who understand Tamil well do well in the exam. So when you compare that to, say, the scholarship school, I call it, they are getting 100% A-level admissions. Find that there also, there's a relationship, but the relationship is R equals 0.62, 0.63. So that means these students, the scholarship students, their Tamil is very good. Even they find it difficult with, those who do well in that Tamil, A or B, do well in maths and science, A or B. Now, so what can we do? That is Mr. Bradley, Mr. Manivarman, and others in the system, including the teachers, is that try to find out and hold classes to improve the Tamil of the students. That means to get the terminologies that are in maths and science and find out the meanings and have classes with them, maybe 2 hours a day now they're at home, and maybe 1 hour a day when the school classes resume, whenever they resume. So that their Tamil comprehension is greater. They may not be Tamil literature or grammar scholars to get A or B or even C, but they'll be able to understand the maths and science that are in the Tamil medium. So this is something that you can do immediately so that the 2020 results will be better. They can get instead of a fail, they can get an S, or instead of S, they can get a C if their comprehension is better. So that now I am doing some more study because some more people have given their results and I am working on it. So that is at the micro level. At the macro level, we have a problem, Bradley mentioned it, Maniman also mentioned it, that I think it's 50% of the students don't have access to any device, smart device, to learn the e-lesson that is being broadcast. Maybe it can be done through television, because many schools have many people have television. Even there, maybe about 25% won't. So we have a problem of equality, equity. The type 2 school I mentioned you, what are the qualifications of the teachers? That school refused to give me that, but I know I can get it from the EMIS. The data is there, but I don't want to go to that detail. So that problem of teachers, qualified teachers there. In the scholarship, Mr. Ratnam can tell us maybe whether they have any teachers, 2-year teacher trained teachers, or all their teachers are graduates or college of education teachers. So how do we justify a scholarship school as to a type 2 schools? So this is a equality problem. It is good to have the top students being taught by very good teachers in a very good classroom setting. Because you cannot compare the type 2. I know what the type 2 schools look like inside the classroom or in the school. So are we creating two societies? If all provinces do it the same, then you are going to have a big problem very soon because of this university admission. So another problem is there's not enough spaces in the universities. That is the national universities. Is there a case for provincial universities where, like in Northern Province or Eastern Province, there are about 12,000 students who are qualified to universities who don't enter universities. They may go to other places, other programs, but still there will be more than half of the 6,000 or so. Wait. So should we start that? But the 13th Amendment gives provinces the right to start universities, but nobody has taken advantage of it because of the cost. Government cannot afford it. So that means somebody else has to fund it. How can it be funded? Should we start that university as a regular liberal arts university, or should we start it as a science and technology university? So these are macro issues. At the provincial level, we can do it. If one province starts, I can guarantee you all the provinces will start. So then there is a macro problem with the examination department. Mr. Manivarman has touched on this. And Mr. Sarveswaran privately has also touched on this. They do item analysis and difficulty indices. But we don't know what the difficulty indices of those examinations, each of the questions are. I like to know the difficulty indices of, say, Jaffna Hindu College or the scholarship schools, and also the type 2 schools, O-level, say. The same question, the difficulty level is the same, but the type 2 school get very low marks. The scholarship schools get high marks. The question that they ask is, I have no data for it because the examination department won't allow that. Are they having a difficulty index that is in between the difficulty index based on the scholarship students as well as the type 2 school students all levels? So if they get a medium, you will find that the scholarship students will do better because the answers are easier. It is not their difficulty indices. So using the indices of these two, averaging it, you are favoring, the examination is favoring the scholarship students and not the type 2 school students. When they say type 2, all of the students, non-national schools. So the system is discriminating. So Mr. Manivarman and the department has the examinations like an O-level examination before the O-level they give. I think you still have that. What I would like to see is to get the results and you do your own item analysis, very simple, and get their difficulty index, not only of those students in the scholarship schools, but also in the other schools, and you see what the difference is. Or we can demand the examination department, National Examination Department, to release these difficulty indices. Because you have to be open about all this. Not, I know they shouldn't release the question papers, but the past papers are there. But we don't know the item analysis of those papers. We need that information. And they can't keep it like that. Somebody should file a court action asking them to release the information. So that's at a macro level, but it affects not just the province here, it affects all the provinces. So it's a national issue. So I like to stop at that so that you can discuss on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Edirveera Singham. We are really fortunate to have, eminent professors and educationists like you. I think you're a centralite, if I go a little personal.
Yes.
Yes.
They won't give me their results for me to analyze.
So you have really brought up some issues like a macro level and a micro level. This is a great start. I think we haven't had, I don't think we have in small groups discussions. A very few small group discussions are happening. I think this has to happen more and more. If you people agree, this has to, everybody should get involved. The diaspora, we are here to help you. The educationists, the retired teachers. I think my teachers here too, Mrs. Sivagurunathan, I think she's hiding in some other name. She's a former principal of the Ramanathan Hindu Ladies College. She must be proud that I am moderating an educational seminar because my class was very notorious during her time. She must have had some bad experience. I'm an old royalist too, as Dr. Edirveera Singham said, the scholarship elite school. So, but I find, in grade 12 A-level class, this is just sharing an experience. Among 56, 36 of us got 4 Fs. All subjects failed. And nobody entered medicine. There's 2 people entered engineering. But we are all in touch among the 56, about 50 people are doing very well in different fields of life. So there's a lot of, Yoga Verdhan must be smiling. He's one of the 4F guys, so with me. So I think we need to look at in a very bird's view, and I'm glad, the government has taken initiative, the present government has taken initiative of educational reforms and all that. Now, this forum is open for everyone to, express their opinions.
Okay.
Niranjan, would you like to share your thoughts?
No.
And it was a little unfortunate. I think the Zoom itself is down. They are slowly bringing. That's what they say in the other website. I think we will continue with this discussion. This is just a starting point, and these small groups we need to meet quite often. And we love our country, even though we're sitting in faraway places, and we are there to share our experience. But we have very dedicated professionals, I see. And if everyone agrees, I think we can conclude the meeting. If anyone has to say anything, I would conclude the meeting.
Yeah, Dr.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Want to say,
so I'm going to mute all. Then you're going to.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Varagunan, for organizing this, and thanks, Yoga, for letting me know and giving me an opportunity to participate. And thank you for all the insights. Really appreciate it. And I am an old Wembury student, and I've come across, I don't know whether Dr. Edirveera Singham remembers me, but I've had interactions with him in 2016, I think in Jaffna, on the back of our workshops in the schools with the approval of the then Education Minister, Mr. Gurukula Raja. And so we've been working. I actually have a small organization called Utturaipu. We work mainly with the students in school as well as now in the university through the career guidance unit. So I just, I'm interested because I thought there was going to be some discussion around the career guidance as well in this session. So if we could have a session on career guidance for school students in the next session, because since this is just a start is what I understand, it'll be great if we can actually discuss how, what the thought processes are in terms of the reforms in terms of the career guidance programs in schools. It'll be really great. And I have met the Northern Provincial Education Secretary in September, and we were due to actually have a program to bring all the career guidance staff in the province to have a conference with the university career guidance unit as well as the career guidance champions whom we've been training. So I will be really interested to find out what we can do in terms of reforms in schools, because that will be very close to my heart. Thank you so much for your time and efforts.
Thank you, Tilaka. That was really great. I think it's a great idea. We should have a career guidance seminar, or something to start with. Niranjan is the best person to organize that. I'm going to unmute everyone now. So please feel free to jump in and throw your thoughts.
Dr. Varagunan,
yes.
Can I make a comment, please?
Absolutely. I can't see you.
Yeah,
Where
yeah, it shows as Vinu Mendis. I'm Lasantha Mendis.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Mendis.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine. I am from Colombo.
Yeah.
And this is just for the zonal director and the principal. So I understand that a lot of children in Jaffna are weak in their maths, in the mathematics, and hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear. Yes,
okay.
We can hear you.
Yes. So I, I got some information that that a lot of children find maths difficult in Jaffna, and as a result, there are dropouts as well as them failing the O-levels. My question is, I've come across a master in Colombo who does thing called fun maths, and if with the permission of the zonal director, I would like to introduce him to the north, so that by introducing this fun maths, we'll be able to improve the knowledge of the kids there, in mathematics.
Mr. Bradley, would you like to comment on that, please?
Yes. If he wants to introduce that to the Northern Province, I think we have to get the Mr. Langovan Secretary's approval. So I think if he is on the line, I can. I think Mr. Langovan, our Secretary, can give the permission about this.
Yeah, Langovan
if the
is here, but I think you guys can. Yeah, you guys can work on the.
Yes, we can work. We can work, but
as a matter
approval,
of principle, yeah.
Approval, it is Secretary's.
Yeah, I mean,
Secretary's
I
permission, we can work on it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think that needs to go through a process and validation and all that. I think.
Yeah, correct.
But Mr. Mendis, that's a great offer, and I think that will be very useful. I mean, I would like to learn maths in a fun way than the regular maths way.
Yes, because actually a lot of children have shown great interest and results due to this. So I'm sure we can. If the zonal director can just put his mobile number, contact details on the chat, I will follow it up with him. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Mr. Mendis, thank you so much. Mr. Manimaran has something to say here.
Yes. I would like to add some more about the mathematics pass percentage. So this year results show the average pass percentage, the maths pass percentage is very high than the average pass percentage. That means the maths pass percentage is compared to our northern province pass percentage is 62 point what? The mathematics pass percentage is 68. So this is the interesting thing in northern province.
Yeah, but I think in the good old days, Northern Province had more or less, I think, a very high pass mark in maths comparatively.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi. This is Dr. Angren from Jaffna University.
Yes.
My question is really, I don't, maybe I missed that part. What are the solution for the inequalities in the online learning? How we are going to solve that problems actually, inequalities?
Mr. Bradley, you can address that.
Yes, actually, it is not education issue. It is a socio-economic issue. So the special programs or projects have to be launched to support the children who are unable to get these gadgets or equipment. Earlier, the Ministry of Education planned to give tablets to A-level students, but because of some financial constraints, that was not implemented. So as it is related to the budget decisions, certainly it is very difficult to solve these inequality issues with respect to electronic equipments or electronic facilities.
There was a joke there. Once upon a time, doctors used to give tablets. Now teachers are giving tablets. So yeah, here also in Canada, I can share a little bit. Due to the COVID, there were lots of kids who were not, cannot afford tablets or these devices. So the government immediately sanctioned because now every class is online class. So that happened here also. Many diaspora organizations are happy to support this. And, I know my friend Midilan, who heads the St. John's 87 batch, they have a great initiative. They are helping a lot of children. There are lots of old student association can help. And we are there to, support that. It's a great question. The inequality is really true. Thank you.
But I think it is very difficult to give free issues because there are 230,000 students are there in the northern province, and half of them don't have access to these equipments.
Yes.
So that will be a huge number.
Yeah, Dr. Surendra.
Yes, Mr. Manivarpan, I don't know whether you remember during the 2014 discussions, Mr. Manivarpan suggested that the iPad or tablets be given to all students, and the government could do that. And as you know, all the textbooks and other supportive materials are actually done in the computer. So they are soft
Yes,
copies.
we remember. Yes, we remember, Doctor. We remember that.
Yes. So
yes, we remember that, Doctor.
Thank you. So what they were suggesting when we raised the cost issues, the Manivarpan and Bradley and the others, the group, they said it cost a lot of money for the department to print them, hard copies, and then transport them from the central ministry to the provincial ministry to the schools. And that cost can be, you can buy the tablets and give it to the students. Somebody downloads all of those textbooks, so you don't have hard copies of textbooks. So it's already in the thing, and you don't need the Wi-Fi for that. So I feel But the only problem, again, they raised in that group is that those who are doing the contract for printing and distribution will not allow because they lose their jobs. So, so this is a macro issues. The government could do that, but they won't antagonize those big people who make money off that. So this is, again, national issues. But it can be done without any cost, but with the cost of printing the book and distribution. And also, once you distribute it, after the students uses that, you see in the, I see pages of books in the laundryman. He puts these pages in the shed, and also they make kadale and everything on that. I have seen that for so many years. So that book is only once. It's never given back, and then the next year students take it. So we are losing a lot of money. It's a one-time expenditure, and then it goes to the business world as pages to be used for business purposes. So somebody should take it up at the national level.
Great.
One more question.
Yes.
Actually, when we design the curriculum to the students, we actually teach the hard skill with soft skills. But when we design the curriculum in the university levels, we design the curriculum according to the graduate profile, right? So then we set the skills, soft skills, and provide the soft skill to the student through the curricula, right? So if we change the mode from in-person mode to online mode, how can we provide these kind of skills, necessary skills for 21st centuries? So this is going to be a big question worldwide, I think.
I think this question is asked all over the world. This is something new. The online models are not, I mean, this is something very new. So I think my own humble opinion is when time goes on, remember when we had the first TV, all of us got onto the roof and turned the antenna and say signal irka, and that's what, then now we can see the TV on the palm. So when time goes, I think this should improve, and everybody will have this technology in their hand or palm. So, I mean, what do you think, friends?
This is Surendra Kumar.
Yes, Dr. Surendra Kumar.
Yes. So then first, the first question actually Ankaran was asking about is availability access, or that how to overcome this inequalities. So one possible thing that I also we were discussing, I think the surveys also here, and then Manimar and also I discussed. So there are possibilities, but at the moment with the COVID, we have a problem that there are their labs with all the IT computers facilities, and then we can arrange with enough social distancing, the students can attend in different sessions with this online learning. That one possible. And another possibility is that approaching different category, particularly when we look at this, really said that about 230,000 students, but there are science students. So when we take this one A-level group, there are only 3,000 odd students. So then for the science, actually we have another issue of we don't have enough teachers, particularly in Klinochi, Mennar and all of the districts. So the possibility is to at least ensure all the science team students can access these. So there maybe we need 1,000 tablets. And also that could be arranged in a kind of a loan basis. So then we can use that to the next batch of students. But there must be a continuous program and then people should be able to do it. But then also there must be a collective effort, and simply we can do most of the things even done in small schools, like in Pudukudiripu, one school. There's a classroom with all the year 4 kids are having the tablets. So even these parents shared their burden and they were able to get it. But the thing is, there must be a supportive mechanism, particularly for the education department, to achieve that. The second thing that Ankaran's question about is soft skill and development. And then soft skill, particularly this one is providing a lot of this online learning, particularly LMS and things even introduced so many years back in the Western universities and also even in this undergraduate. It's actually providing a lot of skill, particularly writing, reading, and presenting skill. So that those kind of thing we can simply encourage the students to get all this. Even this communication, the communication also now we are communicating, and also we can listen. This has a more interactive thing than a lecture hall teaching. So even that we may think that's a live or face-to-face teaching, but then we get more interaction and more things through this kind of thing. So as you said, we can improve, and then we need to find out innovative way for the students and teachers to involve this kind of thing. And then it's providing a lot of positive things, and there are negative things as well. So then but we have to be balanced to use this e-learning plus our as usual classroom or laboratory based learning. This my as a university educationist, these are my thoughts.
In Jaffna Hindu College, we are going to provide tablets to students. It's as a lending purpose. It's like as a book. We are going to provide tablets, 50 tablets next week. It's able to provide tablets to more school because it's cost only 20,000 per tablet.
That's a good initiative, and Jaffna Hindu College can do because we know that we all majority are all boys, and then all boys can contribute a lot. But at the same time, we should be able to find out schools, those who need the thing also. So then maybe Manibam and Bradley and secretary also available, then they can help us to get real thing. That may be the good project for us to think in the near future.
Hello. Hello.
Professor Ravirajan want to tell something. Please
Hello?
go. He's Dr. Baragunan muted. Muted is.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
Professor Ravirajan. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Professor
I think
Ravirajan?
Dr. Angaran also
Yes,
is
I can hear you.
important. Sorry, shall I?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
please.
Dr. Angaran, in fact, actually raised important issues, and also the Surendra Kumar responded, and also I have some view on this. You know, in our university, because we in fact actually done a survey on usage of student usage on this mobile phone, or especially smartphone, or maybe possibly having laptops and things. And similar survey should be done by the Department of Education Department, because that is important. Because especially for the OL and A-level students, and I can actually share some data, or maybe I can actually tell you what's the position in the university system. And what we found is actually almost all the students from the medical faculty have laptop and also the smart, either laptop or smartphone. And because we won't actually collect those data and also gets to find some donors to get some devices also. But at the same time, as far as the arts faculty is concerned, there's a huge percentage of the students doesn't have their smartphone. But in the science, actually, it's only very few percent. It's only the 5% of the students doesn't have smartphone, but we need to actually verify that also. So the issue is in with regards to these equity things, and in fact, we need to actually consider that because none of the students shouldn't be prevented to study due to this lack of their um, financial constraint. And so what we are now doing is we are actually collecting those information, and we contacted donors and also getting some devices, but we can't actually solve 100%. But similarly, Department of Education also may explore that they can actually maybe prepare a online form, and also ask the schools or maybe the students to fill it, especially for the O level and A level, because that is they are going to actually sit the national exam. So that is very important things. Actually, we should actually see that all the students, especially in the disadvantaged district or maybe place students, have those access. And because the Mr. Sendil Maran is actually doing a wonderful job. Actually, he is actually conducting this online teaching to the students, and also there's some issue on having the devices. But what he is doing is actually, suppose people have some internet coverage problem also, so in certain area, and then for those places he is sending CDs, so recorded CD, recorded lectures in a CD, and also they are sending some resource material also. But some places actually people don't have the devices, and then they are sending some resources. I think Department of Education also should actually coordinate all these big schools, and then conduct this program in a regular manner. The FID is conducting, and also I know that because the Sundagli Girls School is started doing that, and also St. John's is also doing that. Big schools are already started, but at the same time, because the village level schools are not having that much of facilities. So we should actually see that, because almost all the students, especially the O level and A level students, are having some access, or maybe they should actually follow these online resource materials. So also they should actually study. And with regards to this, actually, because in the university system, because we can just leave it, okay, because we don't have any facilities, and then we can just leave it, and then we will just wait until the students come. Then if you actually compare this with the other universities, in the southern university, you can see almost all of them. So out of the 16 big universities, and almost, except this Yatna and Eastern universities, other universities are actually progressing well. I don't say that because we are not progressing well, but to my knowledge, actually, it's a bit slow. There are a few faculties who are going fast, but there are some faculties not actually moving very fast. But at the same time, also the O-level, A-level examination preparation, as far as the few school is concerned, they are actually moving fast, and also they are doing a wonderful service to the students. But it should actually, the education department should actually coordinate the schools, and also do these services to everybody. Everybody means, especially this Mullaitivu district. Now I actually understand that, because they are actually sending this material. But especially there are several village schools also. So it should be actually distributed, or it should be, or maybe we can actually send the CDs and also the printed material to those two places, but which involves money, right? And then I think there should be a forum in the northern province, or maybe some NGOs, they can actually form or they can do a um, charity. They can form a charity organization, so the people can actually deposit money, and then they can do they can help the students, especially for this. What I have done with our university, I have been actually contacting a few people abroad, and then some of them actually promised, but it's a demand is too high, right? We need millions of millions money to satisfy all these. So the one more thing is actually because sometimes actually people say that, okay, if you have a smartphone, how do you know that actually they are learning? Now if they have the smartphone or maybe tablet, even they can actually uh, record the things and also record the lectures, and then they can actually replay it. And then they slow. It is actually really good for the slow learners. They can actually replay it and then actually learn. And also the other thing is actually because people are sharing these their notes through mobile. So using that mobile, actually they should actually write down the notes. They should actually prepare notes from that printed material. But if you just send the printed material, sometimes people students won't actually study. But if you have that in the mobile, and then they can easily write that. Because what we saw, because I actually conducted several Zoom classes, so that is actually small group. What I found is actually the attendance percentage is high than the normal in-person lectures. I don't know. Maybe students are very much like to have it, or maybe I don't know, because I saw that because in almost all the classes, I can see that more than 90% of the students attend. While in the in-person lectures, usually sometimes 50% or 60%. And but it is very difficult to actually extend this to the large classroom group, and then we also need to actually make sure that everybody has the access. And then there are two things actually we need to actually rectify. One is actually we need to make sure that because the network coverage is available in all the places, and also the other thing is almost all especially for these O-level or A-level students have the access. Dr. Surendram has said, in northern provinces it's about 3,000 students, A-level, 3,000 A-level students. I don't know, Surendram, is it correct or?
A-level one batch is about 3,000, 3,500.
Especially for the exam batch, actually.
Yeah.
So then, in fact, actually, they
Dr.
can actually first start
Varagunan.
with that.
Yes.
I think.
Dr. Varagunan.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is a Professor Lakshman or whatever is waiting.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for.
This,
yeah, I'm just waiting for Professor Ravirajan to finish. So yeah, go ahead, Professor Ravirajan.
Yeah, but what I am proposing actually, it's better actually the education department do a survey rather than actually we say that not everybody has the access, and then we want to say that how many and what's the percentage, and then what's the budget actually we want to what's the budget needed, and then we can actually approach donors. Because we actually discussed several things, but the immediate thing is actually we need to actually see these O-level and the A-level students complete their studies or complete their syllabus within the stipulated time, and then sit the exam and then see that, because because next year we will actually worry if you don't do a proper measure, we will actually worry that because the pass percentage of the northern province is further actually decreased. So that will happen. So we need to actually see that, because all the O-level students and the A-level students have some sort of access, because these situations may actually go maybe 2-3 months, I think, because maybe more, maybe Surendra Kumar know about that, if he can actually tell that, because for me actually, because it will take more than 3 or 4 months to get back to the normal situation.
So then we need to, at the time actually, because the A-level students will be sitting the examination, and also O-level students is going to do that, and then we need to see that because they have the access to this education. The online is only the only possible mode. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nagarajan. Very great insight into, and very practical. Now, we are really fortunate to have Professor Lakshman Vattavala. He is the first chairman of the Greater Colombo Economic Commission. Welcome,
Last chairman. Last chairman, first chairman of BOI.
Excellent. You must be sitting on a beach where we are so envy to
No,
see
actually,
you.
I put it so that you all can see what the splendors of Sri Lanka,
we are envy sitting in a cold, like I think it's +5 outside today. So anyway, your turn. I mean, we have only 10 minutes to go, so we'll be very happy to hear from you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Vargunan. I'm extremely happy that I was able to rejoin, because initially I was unable to do so. But I will just, I think I was told that this is more about the e-learning. I could not hear very much about what the others were saying. But just to say something about our institute, it's the Institute of Certified Management Accountants of Sri Lanka. And this was set up 20 years back, And you who are from Canada would be pleased to note that this was set up with the technical assistance of CMA Canada. Now they have all joined together and they are CPA Canada. So we have a close relationship with the Canadian body, and they were really helpful in setting that up. And I was there maybe in at that time to come over. It was in 1999 for about 3 weeks, formulating all the syllabus and all the materials which they gave us. And we were able to launch the program in June 2000. So that's really the history of our management accounting body. And you might also want to know why it was set up, because all this time, of course, I am a chartered accountant. I am a past president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants. I have set up the Association of Accounting Technicians, that the technician middle level accountants. I am the one who really set it up. And today it is one of the having about 40,000 students who are doing it. That's mainly from the A-level students who are doing it and then coming into the accounting stream. Now thereafter, I set up the management accounting body, and so we were able to save the foreign exchange going out of the country. Now only the government is talking on that, but I thought of it 20 years ago in order to do these programs and make it available to the citizens of Sri Lanka. So we have now about maybe about 1,000 odd who have passed out, and maybe another maybe middle level about 2,000 to 3,000 who have passed. So that's something that we have done. But as you know, this COVID-19 is really a big shock for everyone. Just before that, I will just say something about, you mentioned about Greater Colombo Economic Commission. That was in 91 or 92. I took it over. I was before that the chairman of the People's Bank, and then I was asked to come over and take it over. And then what we did was we converted it to the Board of Investment in order that we could take investment throughout the country. And at that time, we set up what is called the 200 Garment Factories Program. If you know that, that is really today the main export item from Sri Lanka. So we were able to do that, and at that time we operated the one-stop shop and many things. So which people maybe still may be surprised as to how that could have happened, but that's what we have done on the economic side as a chartered accountant and management accountant. So our area is professional. Professional bodies are a little different from the universities, but we have the A levels coming in, plus now a lot of degree holders are now coming in, because they know that if they have a professional qualification, that is a passport for them to get a job. Because most of the people who come from the universities, I just read, only 20% of them are able to get maybe jobs that will suit them. All the others are maybe working in maybe low paid jobs or whatever it is. But most of them are now doing professional accounting programs, including our CMA, which is really helping them. So the normal setup in Sri Lanka is that the professional bodies are getting these lectures done by, there are accredited colleges that we have, and they are the people who are doing this. But now, as a result of this COVID-19, we found that students can't go for classes. Of course, they have to stay at home. And even if they open up, it's going to be a big problem for them to go for classes and do the studies. So we immediately thought of a solution, and we went into what we set up what is called the virtual learning platform. We could not maybe go into very many things as such, but we already had our learning material that is available, and that was also available in e-learning format. And we then got into video lectures. So what we did was our exam was going to be in June, in May, but we now postponed it to June. So what we did was we immediately started classes for the students. And then what we did was we got all the students who were registered, and then got them to follow these classes. And I think as our earlier speaker, Dr. Ravirajan mentioned, the attendance seems to be very much better than in the classroom, because we find that especially at the senior level, now we have maybe a case study that we are doing, then maybe more than 50 to 60% of the students who are sitting the exam have attended that. So that shows that it is very good, and they also come continuously to do it. So that shows that it's a very, very good concept, and we continue with this, and we are still continuing it. And so that is for the final level ones. And then what we do is we also take the recorded one, and they make it available to them so that they can go through at leisure. Then in addition to that, we made our learning material, because we have our study material, we gave it also on online form, e-learning, which we gave. Actually, these lectures, we gave them free of charge. We didn't charge them anything. That is at our cost. We gave it to them, although maybe the educational institutions are charging them. So this was one thing that we are doing. So now we are going ahead with that. Then in addition to that, we also did certain other things. Now on the attendance, I can just say, because we just recently started our level 2, that is called the operational level, and we do it both in all 3 languages, English, Sinhala, and Tamil. But after the operational level, all the courses are done in English, so that they have to be conversant in English in order that they can become professional accountants. But we find at the lower level, the attendance at the moment is not that good as the higher levels. So it may be that they do not have the facilities. The higher level students may be having the either the computers or the phones, which will help them to follow the classes. And we also did another thing. Now at the final level, what is called the Apex program, they have, of course, the case study. In addition to that, 2 important areas. One is computer-based accounting, where they have to be very familiar with the accounting area, including big data and other areas. The other one is the communication. So here we have what is called the Speechcraft program. I am sure all of you are aware of that. What the Toastmasters conduct, the Speechcraft program, and this one is a program where where the students have to speak, and then they have to do various exercises there. And we found that they were really engaged in it, and we were able to do it very, very successfully. So there was now we completed 2 batches on the online basis. So this is a new concept that came in, and in fact we had 2-3 students from Dubai. Now they were in Dubai, they had gone there, but they could not do the Speechcraft program. But as a result of our doing it online, they were able to do it. So that's another great facility, and where they speak and they were able to get it done. Then the other thing is our computer courses. Now we make it compulsory that they do what is called the Excel and Word and all these. That also we gave it online. Now that also was followed very well by them. Some of them had the computers. The lecturer was able to explain to them. So I think we are now going into a new stage, which will really maybe turn the education picture. And as far as we are concerned, we are more flexible than the universities, because we really can do things on our own, because there's a lot of bureaucracy and other things. So then on the lectures, I must tell you now, the new one that we thought is that we are now really going to start the real full course. I said that we will go for full course, and it's not only in Colombo now, since it is online real time. We are now planning to have centers throughout. Now, if Jaffna wants a center, then we will have a center Jaffna. Then whatever the lectures delivered in Colombo, they will be able to listen there. Either they can listen to it on their computer, or they go to a class where they can attend it. So that's a new thing that we thought, and I think that will be definitely something that could be very good. I think even the universities should look at this, because they are having all these students just coming, especially the art students, maybe the business and others, but maybe science students would have to come to do practicals. So there are new maybe areas that are available now, even for the school students. Now, I think there are a lot of programs that are run now. The education ministry is running classes on video, or not video, on the TV. So that is helping them. Then in addition to that, even we are now going to do special classes for them, for the students on the respective. Of course, we are doing the commerce subject, so we will do and transmit it to everyone. So we have really made a big breakthrough. Although this was available, no one really utilized it. Now I must just tell you how the technology was used, because just give me a few minutes. Now we had this lockdown. Now everyone, you can't go out. Then what the government did was arrange them to do the deliveries. Now if you look at the supermarkets, how are they ordering? Now some of them are using the WhatsApp. Now they will put the order on the WhatsApp and then send it, and then that is delivered. Then others, that's commonest one. Of course, the other way is, of course, where either through the they have app, and then through that one that you can do. Now we have currently the two areas, Pick Me and the Uber. They are doing deliveries for all these food outlets. You just order through them. Within few minutes they bring it. So it has really opened up new avenues. And I think even for the working, I find that working from home, a lot of them are more focused. They know what they are doing, and also better, they are doing better things, So I think definitely this is going to be really a big change, which will really happen, and where we can have the flexibility of people working from home. And a lot of them are saying that for women, that this would be a big booster. Yeah, a lot of them are maybe want flexible hours. So then they can work from home and provide whatever requirements that are there. I'm sure these are all been done in your countries, but Sri Lanka, these are new things happening. So what I want to just say is that your workshop today is a very good one, because it's a very timely one, and we should now look. One thing I just want to bring to your notice, because I went for a conference that is all on e-learning in India. Now they all came, but they said the recognition. Now still the universities are not recognizing the e-learning mode for granting degrees. Now these are some matters that they need to consider if they're doing online. Whether one could do an online degree. Of course, they have the distance learning, but a normal university, whether that could be done. But in Sri Lanka, definitely it has to be a blended learning. It will be maybe 1 or 2 classrooms plus majority on e-learning. That's, I think, how the success should be. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm sure I would have been happy to listen to all what you had, but then definitely we can now create a good communication and a relationship, and this telecommunication will help us now. A lot of those, I think, who are in Jaffna, we will be able to give all the best things from Colombo to them. We don't have to go there, but from Colombo we can then give it to them, and then they will be able to benefit. Thank you very much.
That's great, Dr. Vattavala, and thank you so much. I think we are running short of time here, so I would like to end this with a very positive note. Things are looking very bright, and we have not only from abroad, but we have professionals who have great experience and expertise in the technology, like Professor Vattavala, and we have like Professor Surendran in Jaffna. We have so many, Dr. Edirveera Singham, a great coordination of the minds here. This is only a start. So it looks very bright future for my country, Sri Lanka, my motherland, and we are all here to help this. And with that positive note, I think we should continue this discussion. Small group discussions become big ideas later on, get implemented. And so thank you very much, everyone individually. And we should meet once again and share our thoughts and ideas. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And all
Ayubowan,
the best.
namaste, vanakkam, everybody.
Ayubowan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.